Hey, this week on Flick Knows, we're going to do land titles, full year synopsis, as well as the quick stats. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in for another episode of Flick Knows. Here we go. We're going to do the quick stats, and we're still kind of wrapping up last year. I know it kind of seems silly as we're about to get into February here, but sometimes some of these statistics are a little bit delayed. You're going to want to take that into account as you're listening to me talking about the statistics, but that's why I do the quick stats, right? The quick stats just kind of show us what's coming on the market, what's moving off the market, how quickly things are moving. That is what's happening today. Whereas, going through the land title stats, that's a full synopsis year over year. We're looking in arrears of what happened, a month ago. And even then, we'll talk a little bit as we go a little bit deeper into some of the numbers about what that's looking like as well. But that's why we do kind of from different data sources as well, and we'll do the showing time market stats. Those are a little bit quicker stats based on what's going on month over month. So you're going to want to tune in to all of the Flick Knows. That's where it's at, really. So quick stats, we got new in the last 7 days. We've got 11 new properties on the market. 23 have gone pending. Closed, there's 16. Price reduced, there's 6. So, I mean, gosh, that's, I think the highest number of price reduced we saw was kind of the end of the summer last year. I want to say we were in the 20s. We might have even touched 40 price reduced properties at the end of the summer year, and that's as sellers were coming into where the buyer's market is. And I think we've kind of hit that, like, buyer's market's here, seller's market here. Okay, we've kind of hit that crisscross, and everybody's kind of figured out where to price properties now. So active listings, we ended December of 2022. So last month we ended with 677. January of 2022, so a year ago, January, 608 is what we ended the month with. Today we're at 666. So yeah, we're fewer than where we ended December, which is interesting because usually December is the low number and we're going up from there until we get to July. Active properties, we've got 245 choices. So of those 666, 245 of those are not pending. Those are things that you can put a contract on, and I've been keeping track of that number, but historically we've got the active listings. That's what I can look up. So, that peaked at about 450 active listings in the middle of the summer, and so now we're at 245 now. That inventory has come down. And that's a main thing that I like to keep is inventory, because inventory is going to really show us where that demand level is, and that's going to really affect the pricing, demand, supply versus demand. So let's jump into the land title quick stats here. Well, not quick stats, land title yearly synopsis. So December of 2022, just the month of December, there were a total of 121 transactions, with the average residential price being 1.24 million. Okay, so just about $1.25 million, with an average price per square foot at $715 per square foot. We're going to revisit those numbers here a little bit further down. So for the full 12 months, we're doing, the average of 2022's residential price was $1,326,000. So that's interesting that the December price was a little bit lower than the full year average, with a price per square foot of $795. Now, I think the interesting part about that is if you look at 2022, the first, let's say, 4 or 5 months, things were still going like gangbusters. People were scrambling before interest rates were going down to get things under contract, or going up rather. Then we had the summer where things were moving, interest rates were a little bit higher, and then we have kind of the fall and beginning of the winter here where interest rates were higher, and things definitely have slowed down a little bit from a transaction perspective. So when you look at the numbers 2021, which was historic, tons of transactions, lots of price appreciation, And then you look at 2022, which is probably more like a normal real estate market, but we're kind of navigating some degree of uncertainty in short-term rental regulations. Those are kind of like, okay, so you've got 1 full year of going gangbusters, half a year of like, hey, let's get it done, and then half a year of like, whoa, what's going on? So averages for the full year is an interesting comparison. Again, let's talk about the full year here. Full year of 2022 versus a full year of 2021. Single family homes are up 20%, multifamily up 20%, and vacant land is up 32%. That's for the full year. Keep in mind how I just described 2021 versus 2022. So percent change December and the full year. So December 2022 was down 19% year over year from December 2021 as far as monetary volume. So monetary volume down, transactions were down 34%. Obviously, if transactions are down 34%, monetary volume is going to be down as well. But it's interesting, number of 20 transactions down 34%, monetary down 19%. And then full year, we're looking at 25% down from 2021, and transactions were down 37%. So, I think as we go into 2023, we're going to see a bunch of negative numbers, but I think it's going to be a little bit misleading seeing the negative numbers in 2023 because it's going to be kind of coming in arrears, if you will. Whereas like the 2022 numbers are artificially inflated a little bit because of the first half of 2022. 2023 is going to be like, yeah, anyways. I hope that just made sense. If it didn't, email me, teamflick@summitliving.com. Average price for residential single family home for 2022 was $2 million, just over $2 million. Multifamily was $900,000 and vacant land was $666,000. I'm rounding a little bit here, but just so that you can remember those numbers. But just north of $2 million, just south of 900 and 666,000. Yeah, let's take a look quickly at number of properties. I think this will make sense if I go through it. So in 2022, there were 1,401 residential transactions with 686 properties selling for over $1 million. So that was 2022. 2021, there were 2,354 transactions with 887 properties selling for over $1 million. And then in 2020, there were 658 properties selling for over $1 million. So you look at 2020 transactions, 2,300, let's say, and then 2021, there were, oh geez, I lost my place here. 2020, there were 2,300 transactions. 2021, there were 2,354 residential transactions. And then in 2022, there were 1,400 residential transactions. So number of transactions definitely down from those two. But north of $1 million, 658, 887, and 686. Gosh, I hope that made sense. Trying to keep it straight for you, but if not, give a call or hit me up, teamflick@summitliving.com. So I think it'll be interesting what we see happen here in 2023. I think it's going to be off to a slow start in 2023. We are definitely building momentum. I was talking with my title reps, and they are seeing an uptick in the business coming in. So let's see where this goes. We'll keep you posted. Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Flick Knows. Teamflick@summitliving.com, and we'll catch you next week.